Hello, dear audience. Today, we are going to explore a touching story about love overcoming all challenges, differences, and prejudices. Can love truly conquer all obstacles in life? Deep and James will give us the answer. Can true love really overcome all difficulties and challenges? Deep and James have faced opposition from their families and society, but is their love strong enough to conquer it all? Will their wedding bring them the eternal happiness they've dreamed of? And will their soon-to-be-born child be the result of this lasting love, or a new challenge they must face? Can the love between a poor girl and a rich boy survive the huge differences between them? Will their families accept their relationship, or will they continue to oppose it? When Deep and James decide to get married, will they be able to overcome the opposition and financial difficulties to start a new life together? And when Deep becomes pregnant, joy and worries come together. Can love and resilience help them face the challenges ahead? Their story is a heartfelt journey, from overcoming everything, to a cozy wedding day, and the welcoming of their first child into a family full of love. If you find this story touching and want to follow more interesting stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Join our community so you won't miss any videos. Deep and James's love story is not one of fairy tale romance, but a long journey filled with challenges and hardships. They had to overcome many obstacles since they first met, yet their love remained steadfast and strong, just as they had patiently built it. Deep was a simple girl, raised in a poor family, struggling every day to secure the basics of life. James, on the other hand, came from a wealthy family, but he was not drawn to the superficiality of money. Instead, he had a kind heart and a desire to live a simple, sincere life. Despite coming from two very different worlds, their love blossomed and flourished. From the beginning of their relationship, Deep and James faced many obstacles. James's family strongly disapproved of the relationship, wanting him to marry a girl from a higher social class, someone who could bring benefits to the family and meet their expectations. Meanwhile, Deep's family worried about the social gap, fearing that Deep wouldn't be able to fit into James's affluent life. Questions like, can they overcome these differences? And is their love strong enough to resist the objections of both families, always lingered in their minds. But despite these challenges, Deep and James remained firm in their love. They did not let gossip or family disapproval shake their resolve. Together, they worked hard, convincing both families while nurturing and growing their love. Over time, their bond grew stronger, and eventually, James's family slowly began to accept Deep. They realized that, despite Deep's lack of wealth, she had a sincere heart and a deep love for their son. Likewise, Deep's family, though humble, valued the relationship and hoped their daughter would find someone who would love and protect her as James did. After enduring a long period of love and overcoming challenges, Deep and James felt happiness as they finally could live together and build a future. But one day in March, an unexpected event occurred that changed everything. Deep discovered she was pregnant. Deep's emotions upon hearing the news were indescribable. She stood frozen, staring at the pregnancy test in her hand, her eyes wide with a mix of emotions. She felt overwhelmed with joy but also anxious. Everything seemed to suddenly become real, and she couldn't believe it. A deep, uncontainable happiness spread within her, but at the same time, there was an undeniable sense of concern about the future. How would she take care of the child? Would James be ready to become a father? What challenges would they face ahead? Yet, in her heart, Deep knew that with her love for James and their baby, she and James would face whatever came their way. When Deep shared the news with James, he could hardly believe his ears. After hearing the news, James felt an overwhelming joy, and he rushed to hold her tightly. For the first time in his life, he felt a profound sense of responsibility. He was no longer just Deep's partner, but now would be a husband and father. He promised to support her, care for their child, and do everything possible to ensure their little family would be happy and secure. For James, this news wasn't a surprise, it was part of his dream. He had always hoped to have children with Deep and build a family filled with love. When they shared the news with their families, everyone was thrilled. However, the joy was accompanied by some concerns. Deep's family worried about raising a child in their modest home and whether they could provide for the baby. On the other hand, James's family, though they had come to accept the relationship, still wondered about the stark contrast between their wealth and Deep's background. However, gradually, those concerns faded as both families realized that no matter how difficult life might get, the love and bond between Deep and James would be the firm foundation for their little family. As the days passed, Deep and James felt a deep sense of change in their lives. With each passing day, their love grew stronger, and as they looked forward to the arrival of their child, they felt ready to face all the challenges ahead. The dreams of having a happy family and a child to call their own had become a reality. Their love, having already overcome so much, was now filled with new hope for a bright future, full of laughter, joy, and love. After learning that they were going to be parents, Deep and James decided to share the news with both families. They both knew that this was an important moment, not just for them, but for everyone close to them. Deep and James discussed and decided that their official wedding would be the best way to start a new chapter in their lives, marking the bond not only between the two of them but also between their families. It was the right time to welcome their child and confirm their enduring love. When they shared the news about the wedding, both families were overwhelmed with emotions. Deep's family, although still concerned about their financial situation, was overjoyed by their daughter's decision. They felt happy that Deep would have a life filled with love by James's side. While they couldn't organize a lavish wedding, to Deep's family, the most important thing was that their daughter was with someone who truly loved her. James's family, despite initial concerns about the differences between the two families, now saw things differently. They understood that James had chosen the right person to spend his life with, and the family had started to accept Deep as an important part of their lives. With support from both families, Deep and James decided to hold a small, intimate wedding at Deep's home. The wedding wasn't grand, but it was deeply meaningful because it marked the beginning of a new journey not only for the couple but also for both families. Held in the warm, familiar space of Deep's home, the wedding was simple yet filled with love and heartfelt wishes. It was a modest ceremony, but one filled with emotional significance, with the presence of their closest loved ones. Deep, in her simple yet beautiful wedding dress, walked down the aisle, her face radiant with joy. She wasn't just a beautiful bride, she was a woman who had overcome many challenges and was now ready to embark on a new chapter in life, ready to build a future with James and be the mother of their child. James, standing at the end of the aisle, couldn't hide the happiness in his eyes. Watching Deep walk toward him, his heart swelled with love and pride. For the first time in his life, he understood that everything he had gone through, all the hardships, were worth it. Now, they were about to step into a new life together, one filled with hope and new possibilities. The wedding ceremony unfolded in a deeply emotional atmosphere. There was no loud music or extravagant lights, just quiet moments filled with vows exchanged under the warm glow of candles. They promised each other not only eternal fidelity but also a commitment to build a loving, caring family together. The wedding wasn't just a union between two people but a connection between two families, two different backgrounds, yet ultimately love had erased all barriers. Family members could feel the happiness rising in their hearts. Deep's parents, tears rolling down their faces, couldn't be prouder of their daughter. They were delighted that their daughter had found a man who would love and protect her for life. James's family, too, couldn't hide their joy when they saw their son, who had once been so unsure about love, now so certain and happy. Everyone, from close family members to friends, shared in the joy of knowing that Deep and James's love had triumphed over all obstacles. The wedding ended with warmth and complete joy. People shared heartfelt congratulations and wishes for the couple's future, as well as for the child soon to be born. Deep and James felt that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would always be together, facing them as a family. Their child wasn't just a beautiful gift, but also a symbol of their love, a love that had withstood all the trials, and now would continue to grow in the care and affection of both families. That evening, after the wedding, they sat together, looking at pictures, exchanging warm embraces, and reflecting on what was to come. Though many challenges lay ahead, they knew that with love and unity, they would overcome them all. They were ready for this new life, a new journey with their beloved child, to create a happy, complete family. After the wedding, Deep and James began a new chapter in their lives. No longer burdened by concerns about the differences between their families, and with the uncertainties of the future behind them, they focused on building their own little home. Deep, in her simple wedding dress, returned to the peaceful life by James's side, where she felt warmth, love, and complete happiness. James, after the wedding, became even more caring and loving toward Deep. He was always ready to do anything to make her feel comfortable and happy, especially as she was pregnant. The first few months of her pregnancy were challenging for Deep, filled with discomfort, but they were also moments where she felt James's unconditional love. He wasn't just a wonderful partner, but now he was also a husband and a father, always by her side, waiting for their little angel to arrive. Every morning, James prepared breakfast for Deep, taking care of her in every little way. He would gently massage her back when she felt tired or uneasy from the pregnancy, making sure she was well cared for. James was not only a diligent husband but also a father who loved and cherished their unborn child. He did everything in his power to ensure that Deep would never have to worry about anything. On quiet afternoons, when they went for walks in the park, Deep felt sheltered, loved, and protected in James's arms. One evening, as James brought Deep home after a walk, the soft moonlight illuminated the sky, creating a peaceful and romantic atmosphere. They sat together, not needing to speak much, simply enjoying the quiet moments, feeling the love that filled the air. James gently placed his hand on Deep's growing belly, where their child was developing day by day. Deep looked at him, feeling the warmth from his hand, from his heart. In that moment, she knew how lucky she was to have James by her side, someone who would always share all of life's joys and worries with her. "You're going to be a wonderful mother," James whispered to Deep, his eyes filled with warmth and affection. "I will always be here, beside you and our child." His words, simple yet profound, made Deep feel at peace. James's love was not just in his words but in his actions, in everything he had done for her since they met. Though there were still challenges ahead, she knew that with James by her side, everything would be easier to bear. Day by day, Deep and James prepared for the arrival of their child. They shopped for baby clothes, organized the nursery, and read books on parenting. James was involved in every step, from decorating the baby's room to learning about newborn care. He didn't want to miss a single detail, because he understood that the most important thing right now was to create a loving and nurturing environment for their child. As each month passed, Deep's belly grew, and James never left her side. He helped her with the smallest tasks, from carrying groceries to preparing meals when she felt too tired. Deep felt the care and attention James gave her, and it made her feel more secure as she entered the final stages of her pregnancy. She knew that not only was James a wonderful husband, but he would also be an incredible father, loving and protecting their child for the rest of their lives. One morning, as the sunlight streamed through the window, Deep looked at herself in the mirror and realized how much she had changed. She smiled at herself, feeling the new life growing inside her, and a sense of happiness filled her heart. James was taking care of her tirelessly, making her feel that love wasn't just in words but in actions. She knew that with James by her side, their future would be filled with joy and love. "I love you," James whispered as he gazed into Deep's eyes. "I love you so much, and we'll overcome every challenge together in this life." Those words weren't just reassurance, they were a promise from a husband and father who loved her deeply. Deep smiled with happiness, feeling the warmth of James's heart. She knew that no matter how difficult things might get, they would always be together, raising their child with love and building a family full of joy. Deep and James knew that there would be many challenges ahead. However, they were not afraid. With love, patience, and unity, they knew they could overcome anything. A small family was about to be born, and they would do everything they could to nurture their child with all the love and care in the world. The story of Deep and James is truly touching and meaningful. Although they come from two completely different worlds, with a clear disparity in their family backgrounds and living conditions, their love remains strong and unwavering. This story shows that love is not only a connection between two hearts, but also a perseverance and determination to overcome all obstacles, especially opposition from family and society. What is truly admirable in this story is that love is not bound by material wealth or social status. Deep and James have proven that as long as there is sincere love, all difficulties can be overcome. They not only overcame their differences but also built a happy family, welcoming their first child with joy and hope. The story sends us a powerful message about the strength of love, the unity of family, and belief in the future.